it gets dark, so I can at least do this while I'm still driving to save time. Heading back from the mill. I'm just headed back to my truck early just so I can work on editing more videos because I have a lot of story to cover. Anyway, yeah. So predicted today's Elevation Church message wrong, but the message was again about things not going as planned. They did two messages about that pretty close to each other. I mean, was the week before this about the same thing, just David? Instead of David's life not going as God promised, it seems. This time it was Joseph's life's not going as promised, it seems. And again, that's exactly what seems to be happening to me right now. Man, I've had so many tears today of just so many different things. You saw the tears in one of them. Yeah, I did that last video of me crying about the Savior testimony thing. I did that. I was watching that while the first service was going, and then I watched the second service when that came on. Again, I have to remember, like, even the 12 disciples, things didn't go as planned for them either. Like, so why am I going to expect things are just going to go as planned? But honestly, like, if enough goes not as planned, isn't that just gonna? I mean, I guess that's just gonna prove this wasn't like set up by Elevation Church with me or something like that when this is all over, probably, right? So there's that. Again, there's things about dreams in this message, which is interesting because Joseph was a dream interpreter. Okay, so I think it's time to talk about the dreams I've been having a little bit now. Dreams about that girl, of course, sort of, a few nights in a row, it's like there's like an attractive girl and they like me and I just like, they seem to have traits that line up, but in these dreams, every time it's like, no, but they aren't Marissa, they're lacking traits, and all I do in these dreams is compare these girls to Marissa, which is why I really, there's no moving on from this girl because I'm just going to compare girls to this girl the rest of my life. So that's an issue. The one dream, it was even like the one girl I think wanted to move to Washington, and that dream I literally started crying. I don't want to move from my hometown. Now last night specifically was an interesting one because this one was actually about Marissa. And so in this one, the dream was that it wasn't a crash, and it was actually a camping trip instead. And she had like a jug of water that was enough for the two of us or something like that. And it was some weird situation where it was like a certain amount was planned for cooking, a certain amount of the water was planned for both of us to drink. And I think in the dream I drank a certain amount of it, of the water, but I messed up on how much I was supposed to drink versus how much I was supposed to leave for cooking. And in that dream, she was mad at me and nearly in tears, and we had to end the camping trip early because I messed up how much water to drink. And she was all in tears, like, you could have gotten us killed, and so mad at me that could have dehydrated to death on the camping trip. And it's over because this and that, and in the dream I wanted to explain didn't know, like, it wasn't intentional, it was just an honest mistake. I just made I was trying to look out for both of us. I just made a mistake. And, what's weird is, right, yeah, so, but then in the dream, it was like a very long amount of time had passed. And when it was all over, I remember we're at a cliff looking at a beautiful view. And like she was willing to be friends with me again. And she kind of explained, hey, it took me a long time to realize, but I see that it wasn't intentional. You weren't trying to get us killed, and you just made a simple mistake. And it was something about the markings on the water bottle, why I made the mistake, and she understood without me having to explain. In the dream, I was wanting to explain to her the whole time why I made the mistake, but I couldn't. And she figured it out herself. And she wrapped her arm around me. We looked at the beautiful view together, and I woke up crying. And I'm crying now talking about it. Go figure. The dream felt so real that that I forgot about the crash. And I was literally waking up thinking, why was she that mad at me for just drinking the wrong amount of water? And it literally took like me 2 or 3 minutes, maybe a minute of, maybe 2 minutes of waking up to fully realize that's not what happened, and it was a crash, not drinking too much water. What I'm saying is, if that dream meant something, I think she's gonna notice that the crash was a simple mistake, and I just hit the brake too hard for no reason. And again, I'm not saying I wasn't going too fast. I was. The skid marks and all proved that I kept stopping distance in sight, but as I now learn, just because stopping